Hi Kim, how are you doing?
Hey, okay, good.
Good, good.
So
Okay,
far,
good to
okay.
have you here. Friends who are here today, just drop by and say hello to Kim. If you already know Kim, Kim is actually the founder and co-founder and CEO of Picha Eats, right?
Yep.
They help refugees. Later
Mm-hmm.
we'll hear a lot more about them. But before we start, just please feel free to drop in your comments, drop in your highs and all that, so that Kim can say hello back to you again soon.
Okay,
Okay. Okay. So thanks a lot, Kim, for being here today
no
on
problem.
short notice.
Mm-hmm.
And today, let me just introduce a little bit about what Kim does. Okay. Uh, Give me a second. Okay, Kim is actually the CEO and co-founder of Picha Eats, a sustainable food business rebuilding lives of refugees in Malaysia.
Mm.
Right? It's actually a social enterprise which aims to provide financial empowerment and improve economic development amongst the refugees in Malaysia. All right.
Mm.
So they actually provide job opportunities to refugee families by providing a platform for them to cater food for the public, utilizing their existing cooking skills and equipping them with further with professional guidance, right? Picha Eats was part of the Magic Global Accelerator Program, uh, the East Stanford program in San Francisco, and also the Westerville Foundation in Berlin, and is also a grantee under Air Asia Foundation. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so let me just
Okay, cut short it.
before I know there's a long
No
list of
worries.
what y'all have done very well. Right.
No
So
big
Kim,
problem. Yes,
let me just ask you a few things. Let's just say hello to everyone. Okay.
can.
What is Picha Eats and how did it come about?
Uh, Basically, you've already mentioned like Picha is basically a food business, and we rebuild lives of refugees in Malaysia. So how it works is that the refugees that we partner with from different countries, mainly from Palestine, Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, they will cook from home, and then we will deal with all the logistics and operations to send the home cooked food to the customers. So how we start is when myself and my two other co-founders, Suzanne and Suilin, we were university students and we wanted to do something with the refugees. So we were doing volunteering and I was teaching music before this. And we realized that a lot of kids were dropping out of education because they had to find part-time jobs to sustain their families. And then we thought we want them back into education, but we had to solve the root problem first. So basically refugees are not allowed to work in Malaysia, so it's very hard for them to find a sustainable job to sustain their families, and these kids have to drop out of school to find part-time jobs or do odd jobs like to sustain their family. So what we're trying to address right here is to create this opportunity where we can enable refugees to find a sustainable living, and in this case it's through cooking because we realized that the community cooking is their basic skills, and we thought, okay, why not we sell home cooked food with authentic recipe from different countries to Malaysians. And that's where we actually had the idea, and we started doing it from university friends to selling to corporates and then to companies, and today we serve for weddings and other major events or functions as well.
Right. What There are a lot of people who are actually getting food from Picha Eats.
So we've been around for 4 years, and in 4 years we've served around 500 over companies, with 160,000 meals served.
Wow.
So we've served quite a substantial amount of people, so far. Yeah.
Okay. Um, are the corporates, really responding well to Picha Eats, and do they how big are the functions, that Picha Eats can cater for?
The biggest we did was for American Express last year, 900 packs. So our
Wow.
capacity goes all the way up to 1,200 packs for catering, and in terms of mailboxes, we can produce up to 2,500 boxes. Mm.
Wow. And how many families of refugees are involved in this whole, thing with Picha
So
Eats?
currently we have 12 active chefs, but we've worked
Okay.
with 20 over chefs before from mainly seven different countries. Yeah.
Okay. And any
Mm-mm.
reason, the countries are, from Syria, yeah, you mentioned Afghanistan and all, right? There are refugees from many countries. Any reason for this particular group of countries?
I guess when we encounter them, most of them are good chefs themselves. Like they cook a lot where from where they come from. It's like in their tradition. They
Mm,
cook for functions. They cook even though not professionally. They cook for like events and their families are in very big sizes. And so that's where they got the skills, and all we have to do is to train more and
mm.
enable the market. So that's how we identify them. Yeah.
Okay, okay. There
Mm,
are many ways to help refugees, right?
mm,
But
mm.
why food? Of all the different ways, why food?
I guess food is very it's an not to say it's an easy medium, but it's a medium where everyone can get involved. um well, we need food. It's like our essential every single day, um and food tells a lot of stories, and the different um authenticity and the originality and the story background behind the food that was being prepared. It's that comes from the chefs themselves are very special, and I think uh it connects with people very easily. And so food just naturally became the medium. And yeah, I mean, like the three co-founders, we don't cook, but we eat a lot. And Malaysians connect to food very very easily. Malaysians can accept food from foreign countries much easier than other people. So it's just very natural to be introducing food from different countries to Malaysians. Yeah.
Right. And okay, before we continue, I have another question for you. But
Mm.
before we continue, let's just say hello to all the friends that are here. Okay,
Yep.
so we have Cynthia Paul in YouTube. Okay,
Okay.
Rani, and then we have Reka, Francis, and then we have from LinkedIn. Let me just see this. Okay, we have Kushbu. All right. Uh, Hey, do you know Kushbu? She said hi,
I
Kim.
on LinkedIn. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she mentions hello to you too. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Kushbu. All
Hey.
right. And so we have people from LinkedIn here. We have
Mm.
Facebook and we have YouTube
Mm.
and all.
Mm.
Right.
Mm.
So now, when you and your co-founders, maybe you want to shout out their names too, so that everybody
Yeah.
knows who are they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned just now. You can find them on LinkedIn. Suzanne Ling and Lee
Susan.
Swee Lin. Yeah, they're all related to Picha Eats, and you can find them very easily. Yeah.
Okay. So when y'all got together, how did this idea just suddenly pop up? Y'all were sitting down together, and how what's the story behind? How
I
did it
guess
just?
everything was very organic.
Okay.
But what really sparked was when we were attending a conference organized by Magic, Malaysia Global Innovative and Creativity Center.
Right.
And it was the SE Hati, so it's basically social enterprise, and then Hati is heart. In 2016, so I was in the crowd listening to other social enterprises doing amazing work. There was the Nasi Lemak project. There was BGBG initiative. There was Arus Academy who was presenting on that day. And when I was listening to them, and I told my co-founder Suzanne, I called her and I said, you have to be here right now. But she's quite a scholar. I mean, she would always like study all the time. And she said, okay, no, I'm not going to be there because I have to study. And after one presenter presented, I called her again. I say, you really have to be here because it's something. It feels like it's a solution that um, is a solution to the problems that we have been like scratching our heads for how to find livelihood for the family so that they can send their kids to education. Um, and so she said, okay, I'll come, and she came, and then we listened to the amazing social enterprises about how they use business models to address social issues. And we thought to ourselves, oh, what can we do after that? And we realized that like the community can cook, and it was just very natural that time. We just used food because it was kind of easy to sell it to our friends. Food that you don't have to food that you probably can't find around your university area, and we were delivering it to you. And so it was very natural to use that at that time, and we just started doing that more. Yeah.
Okay. And why is it what do you call? It's a community. It's like is it a profit organization, or is it yeah?
Yeah, so it's a for-profit business that is driven by a social cause. That's what
Mhm.
social enterprise stands for.
Right.
I understand that people will always get mixed up knowledge or impression about what social enterprise is. Like, is it a charity or is it a non-profit or what? Um, and people always like couldn't link for-profit with charity because in people's mind, charity has to be non-profit. But if we change and mix it up a bit, why can't for-profit business have a social agenda or be a good business? So that was just our idea, like the definition of social enterprise was for-profit business driven by a social cause at the first place. And it is sometimes quite disappointing to see how people keep mixing up the messages, and people who are not social enterprise claiming they are social enterprise to mix up more messages. And people will always think that for-profit couldn't be linked with charity, but you can. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Uh, all right. So what during this COVID time, right? This crisis. What is your
Mm.
experience? Serving people. What is Picha Eats doing right now?
We're doing a lot of things. Like internally, we're doing a lot of research and development, tightening up our processes and operations. But externally, we know that like the chefs need sales to survive, and so we got like people to put in funds. It's called the Zaza movement, and it's actually named after our late chef who wanted to distribute food to the needies. And uh people put in the funds so that they can enable refugees to be cooking, and then we will send the food to frontliners and people who are in need. And that has helped them to survive for the past for a month plus so far. And for us to stay afloat as well. And but we because of this, we could do more research and development, we could do more process tightening, and we're also incubating new businesses uh, just to make sure that we can survive. And also increasing our B2C segment, because our B2B segment is not moving at all. So the B2C segment is where we do delivery for party it's actually party packages. So usually it's 10 packs minimum per package. Right now we downsize it to 5 packs or 3 packs so that we can help so that we can get more people to be buying them for their families during dinner and or lunch. So that's what we have been doing so far.
Right. And what would you be able to just share a little bit about some of the different foods that are available, so that for the benefit of everybody who's probably interested in what Picha Eats is offering?
Yeah, of course. So Ramadan is coming, so we definitely have like Ramadan sets and Raya sets. But or else you could just head on to the website PichaEatts.com, and you'll see like sets like Mona's Palestinian sets, Kala's buttermilk set, Latifa's Afghan set. So it consists of different um, rice and main meals and desserts in a package.
Okay. And what does Picha Eat need right now, to grow?
I guess what we really need right now is talent. We while amidst the difficult situation that everyone is going through right now, we're actually really looking for talent who can help us in different sector.
Mm.
So we're supposed to grow Picha weddings this year, and but of course coronavirus happened and we couldn't grow the weddings, but people are still planning for next year, and we do need talent in helping us to grow that sector. And then we also are running different content creating sector as well. So and yeah, we do really need like talents to be working with social enterprises at this point.
Right, right. I've always seen some of your posts, right, in Picha
Mm,
Eats where you
mm.
all teach people how to cook, certain
Okay.
unique things, and that's quite fun actually, right?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Um, well, the three co-founders can't cook, and the chefs sometimes, most of the time, they wouldn't want to reveal themselves.
Right.
What we did is we get like ourselves to go and learn the product, or like we have our internal chefs, um, in-house chefs, to teach people, and they also don't like to be in front of the camera. So what we do, we always like just take like half of the body, just enough for them to showcase or show the recipe. I guess we wanted. I know some chefs like are not very open with their recipe because it's like a secret, right? But for us, we're kind of open source. The reason why is anyone can basically cook. Like I'm sure a lot of them found out they can actually cook during MCO. And it's not hard to cook, but it's hard to cook out of heart. When you have to cook for like 200 packs, 500 packs, 800 packs, it requires a different kind of discipline, dedication, and commitment. And we see them a lot in our chefs. But we're very open to be sharing our recipes with people if they just want to cook from home, individual. Because individual sector is not our market. Our market is serving people who wants to organize events.
Okay. Actually,
Yeah.
that those posts are pretty fun, and it's sorts of like gets people to be closer and see the fun aspect of Picha Eats.
Yeah, so it's a lot of like engagement that we're trying to aim for.
Right. What are your long-term plans? And friends, okay, before we go into that, friends who have any last questions before we finish the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have any questions, just please drop by so that Kim here can actually answer them. Uh, so meanwhile, Kim, what are some of
Yep.
your long-term plans for Picha Eats?
Uh, I can't iterate right now. If you ask me before coronavirus happened, I could be very confident to tell you like what we want. But at the end of the tunnel, we really hope to be that brand where whenever anyone thinks of like trying to get food or caterers or food to be part of their event, that they could immediately think of Picha. Because why not? Like you're helping someone, you exploring different recipes or different food from different countries, and there's a story to tell. And how you are being related with Picha was, we made it like really positive and for people to be part of us. So um it is really like why not. I mean, you could support Domino's, you could support like McDonald's or any fast food chain, but we've already why not like support like people who really need that as well. And it could be any one of your events, of the 10 events you're going to organize. um and probably, you know use other services along the way, but the first thing that you can think of is Picha. So that's what we're trying to aim for in the long term. um but yeah, even like weddings, even like functions or events, first person to go to will be Picha. That's what we're really aiming for.
Right. Oh, are y'all available through Grab Food or Food Panda?
No, we're not. So but we have our own system. So just head on to PichaEatts.com and you can just uh like select the different kitchens that you want to order from.
We'll definitely be checking out this for sure myself. And what's your advice for people out there who intend to do their own, social enterprise? What's your advice? And also, to share again your point just now, the social enterprise is not really a charitable organization.
Yeah,
It's actually a for-profit organization, right?
yeah.
So maybe you can share a little bit about that, so that to keep the everyone at the same page, and then maybe you can give some tips on how to get started with a social enterprise.
Sure. So I guess, if you say like tips of trying to set up your own social enterprise, very important is to identify the right problems to be
Right.
fixing. Not every problem needs to be fixed with a business model, but at the same time, talk to their organizations like Social Enterprise Academy, like Magic, that runs social enterprise boot camps. So you could just join them and understand um, how social enterprise is like. There are a lot of boot camps that are happening with Magic. I think there were 4 dates that I saw, um, and just go and understand more before like saying, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start this social enterprise, and this is a problem that I'm going to fix, because a lot of time, like I say, some problems don't require a business model to fix, and some problems are might not the problem that you think of. Very important, you have to identify and gain insights to understand them. um if you say like advice in the long term, I would say two things. One, always remember why you started the social enterprise at the first place, because um there there'll be times when you will be challenged, and you'll be like, people will question you, why are you doing this, or you will even question yourself, um what before work or anything, like why do you have to go through all this hell and things just to make sure that someone's lives are being taken care of. Because you might even ask, like, I can't even take care of myself, why should I take care of other people? So you have to always remember your why at the first place. And second, always remember there must be a balance between profits and social. Always remember that if you go too social, you cannot survive. If you go too profitable, towards profits, it's not wrong, but then you forgot why you started at the first place. So it is hard to balance, and I won't say it's easy, but you just have to keep trying. Ask someone to mentor you, ask someone to keep you in check, if you will, and just brave the situation. A lot of communications are needed, a lot of empathizing communications, and positioning needs to happen. So yeah, especially get someone to be speaking to, and or mentors. Yeah.
Right. Do you have some mentors with you?
We have like, well, Picha personally has like 20 over mentors. Why? Because we started as university students, so we have no business of or F&B background. So our mentors range from finance to operations to human resource to business developments and partnerships. Just people who are keeping us in check all the time.
Awesome there. Okay, I just wanted to let you know some feedback from people that who are tuning in today's show. So from
Cool.
Gladys Silva from LinkedIn, she said you have a very unique storyline to your business. You are feeding the refugees by giving them a job, and feeding the nation with your delicious food. Okay,
Thank
That's by
you.
Gladys. And then Badri Bob Abdullah, hi, Vyasa and Kim.
Yeah.
He said that business continuity is very important. Picha has pivoted itself very nicely. Okay. And then from Facebook, we have Cynthia from YouTube. Cynthia Paul said, very impressive. How do you get the chef talents? Where are the chefs from? Okay,
Yeah.
maybe you can answer this after this. And then
Yep.
there's one more by her also. Is there a fee given to the chef, and how do you motivate the chefs to stay?
Okay. Well, how our business model work is that 50% of our food revenue goes to the chefs. They cover the cost of ingredients and the cost of, they earn half of it to cover the cost of living. And then the other 50% goes to Picha. We cover packaging, transportation, and operations. So that's how we share. It's like a share revenue and share profit. Yeah. If the chefs I think I mentioned just now, they're from Syria, Afghanistan, Palestine, Iraq, Pakistan, and Myanmar. um and what was the last question? I think that's
How
all
do you
right.
motivate the chefs to stay?
Oh, I guess like them needing a sustainable living already motivates them. But the next thing is to make sure that we create the right system for them, that we create the right training for them. So we do train them so that they are not just there hanging and then we're just expecting them to be delivering great food when we don't provide the right training. So we do identify that. I won't say everything is smooth sailing. There are times when we're trying to pull our hairs. There are times when we have miscommunications with them. And because we're a bunch of 20 over years old having to handle like mothers who are between 30 to 40 over years old, it's like lecturing your mom, which you never will like that. But it is a process that you have to. It's not so you have to find different ways to communicate with them, to make sure that they understand where you're coming from. And we also have to understand their culture and how they have been doing things and how we can go about. I guess like the empathizing part and then the communications part is how 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 it will change when it comes to motivation, because we liaise a lot on WhatsApp. We don't see them all the time, so you really have to hone down the skills of WhatsApping the right emotions, the tone, and wordings. Yeah.
Wow, wow. Yeah, it's definitely a challenging thing, right? Different languages,
Yeah.
different
Yeah, definitely.
cultures,
Yeah.
and, different values. So,
Exactly. So the person who is handling like families, they have to know how to manage their emotions like rightly. Yeah.
yeah, very nice, very inspiring story, actually, the story of PichaEatts. And okay, then there's another feedback from Alfred.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Picha food is
Oh,
tasty, food that tells stories. Very
thank
nice.
you, Alfred.
Okay, so uh, Kim,
Yes.
anything else that you want to share before we finish the show today?
I don't have much. Like, thanks, Visa, for having Picha on board. I guess like I know it's a very tough time for many businesses and people during this time. But don't forget why you started certain things, and if you can stay on, if you can hang on, then by all means do it. If you can't, do not blame yourself. Um, things, random events happen, and I think things happen for a reason. There may be better planning for you. It is tough, it is painful. I cannot say totally that I understand because different businesses requires different challenges. Picha has its own challenge, and I might not be able to understand the other businesses' challenges as well. But we're all in this together. No one is much worse than the other person, and we have to empathize more during this season, during this period, and hopefully we gain back strength and stand back up really quick. I believe in the power of humans that will be able to recover very very quick, and I hope that we'll see rainbow at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, you surely will. You have definitely a very strong, authentic story. I think uh, you guys are really authentic. Very. Maybe you didn't know certain things before you got in, but you all dived in, found the right mentors, find the right things, right people, and get things going anyway. So
Yeah.
it's a classic story of a startup.
Thank
It's
you.
just sheer will. It's awesome. And a question by one of the people from
Yeah.
LinkedIn is, how can we help Picha Eats? Is there anything
Um,
that, people
there's a
out
lot
there
of
can?
things you can do. You can share some of our posts or share with people about the story that we present. Another way is if you want to contribute during this period, you can contribute to the Zaza movement funds that I've just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, if you contribute and you send us your receipt with your phone number, we would definitely update you what has been going on and the distribution that has been happening. Next thing you would want to be, if you want to be part of Picha, just try and DM me on like LinkedIn. But also taste the food. I mean, every time you think about food, just think about Picha. And if you purchase from Picha, you're basically rebuilding lives with us.
So ordering food from Picha is already helping Picha, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So again, Cynthia, Paul said thank you for the good teamwork and team effort, young and vibrant people. Okay.
Thank you. We try to stay young, lah.
Yeah. So, friends, okay, we have Kim here again. For all, you can always go back to this interview will be recorded, and the link is as usual in the comment section below in the YouTube. You can always go back to YouTube, and then you can also look back at our past recorded interviews if you want to see them. Right. So, Kim, thank you very much
Thank you.
for
Thank you. Thank
sharing
you.
how Picha Eats works and how it got started and all. I wish you all the best during this
Yep.
time.
Thank you so
Every
much.
business needs a lot of help and
Yep.
support, and it's challenging times. So, you know, stay there, stay the route.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so bye bye,
Bye
uh,
bye.
Kim. So, Kim, just hold on for a few minutes
Yes.
after this has gone off the line, right?
Yep.
Just give me a second. We are going offline right now.
Okay.